This video is to offer you permission to pause, permission to slow down, permission to reflect, and permission to believe. Peace, welcome, or welcome back. This episode is an inspired episode, off the cuff. I wasn't planning on recording today, but I feel inspired to just put the camera on and record. And whatever comes through is what comes through. And I hope it is something that can support you in your journey since you clicked on this video. I am currently in the States, in the Northeast, and it's fairly colder than where I have been living. And although I was aware of the weather, it still takes a toll on the body, not only the weather change, but traveling, especially since my flight was delayed. But one thing I can say about my travels from Central South America to North America was that it was very easeful. Now, in a time where there's many things going on, or you're being shown in the news and social media, and it may affect your thought pattern. It may contribute or change to fears. And in preparation of going to the States, I had a few people say, "Oh, get ready for the chaos. Prepare yourself for the chaos. There's a lot going on." And what I had to do, what I allowed myself to do, was when I either heard it or read about it, or however it was introduced to me, I found a way to tell myself, sometimes to tell the other person, that that is not my experience, or that is not going to be my experience. I believe my experience is going to be very easeful. I'm going to move through the airports as if I'm floating. It's going to be a very enjoyable experience. And that is something I kept telling myself during the time leading up to my travels. And to keep a long story fairly short, medium, that was what I experienced. Even though there was a delay, and I was at Fort Lauderdale Airport for my connection, about 3 hours, if not more. Other than that, going through customs, going through TSA, baggage claim, boarding the plane, carry-on luggage space, the service, the attentiveness, the kindness was all present for me. Like probably one of the best experiences I've had with TSA. And the 2 times I went through security, I didn't have to go through the larger heavy waves machine. It was just the regular, I believe it's called the metal scanner. I say all that to say my experience was amazing. Now one can say that it was due to my mindset, my calmness in preparation of traveling, what I was saying to myself. How present I was, and that was what contributed to my experience. Or if I didn't do any of that, if I accepted what other people were throwing at me, my experience would have been the same, or maybe not. Either way, I set myself up for the win. And so it has me really meditating on mindset. I support folks with mindset specifically. It has been within the last, I don't even know how much time. I guess the last people that I have, worked with, it has been centering around relationships. It's been centering around also relationship with self. And although I support people, I'm still human. I still am working with and developing this relationship with my mind and mind training. So I'm constantly being mindful and intentional and really in a space of a quantum leap. And that requires so much presence. That requires pausing, that requires focusing, that requires discipline. And the example of the airport travels is something I would like to provide for you, even for myself, of how can we incorporate the experience that you want to have on an everyday basis. Now, it may be moving through an airport, it may be getting a new job, it may be becoming pregnant, it may be finding a new partner, the love of your life, it may be traveling and moving to a new place, it may be purchasing, it may be starting a new business, it may be anything. You can fill in the blank, but how can we plant the seeds and stay focused on the experience that we want to have? Now, what I realized for the airport, I didn't cling to it having to look a certain way. What I did say to myself is that it's going to be an easeful experience. Now, have I had a easeful experience at the airport in the past? Yes. So I had something that my body remembered what it's like to have an easeful experience in the airport. So it was an easier experience for me, my subconscious, to accept, to remember. So I can see for other experiences that people may want to have, even for myself, if it's something I've never experienced before, yet it's something I do want to experience in the future on a more regular basis, how it may take more focus, more intention, more energy to build that momentum, to have that type of experience. So if someone, let's say, has been consistently making $60,000 to $80,000 a year and they're looking to then become a millionaire, do they know what that feeling is? Or I guess for me, it's really finding ways or really tapping into what you believe $1 million will give you. What experience are you looking to have? What do you believe that you will have with $1 million? Now, for me, $1 million would bring a sense of ease, more ease, freedom, responsibility, more responsibility, power, access, security, stability, abundance, But these are feelings or experiences I currently have right now. I'm saying this to get you to think about the experiences that you want to experience instead of the final result. And that has been something that is I'm really overstanding now. Instead of clinging to the result, instead of clinging to the goal, what would I like to experience? What would you like to experience? The feeling. It's the feeling. And so if you've never experienced that feeling, then that thing, that experience may be a little bit more challenging to access, but it's there. And now I understand when people say it can take time, be patient, just one step at a time, with the intention of the feeling that you want to experience and staying focused on that feeling. So my experience at the airport was amazing, and I stayed focused on that feeling. I stayed focused on what my experience was going to be. And so if we talk about other experiences, you may have people around you that will throw things on you like, oh, be prepared for the chaos in the States. Having a business is XYZ. All men or all women are XYZ. Or just throwing their undesired experiences at you. And instead of accepting or being that nice friend that like and saying things to appease or contribute to the conversation, I think it's important to speak what it is that you want to experience and to block out if that's an experience that, one, you're not experiencing in the moment, or two, you don't want to experience in the future. And that may leave you, who knows what that person, how that person may respond or react, but that's none of your business. What I'm seeing are these are the opportunities to honor yourself, to stay focused, and to kind of start like blocking out the undesired experiences. And that includes the consumption of the negativity from either social media, the news, people around you, the environment. Really being mindful and protecting your space, your ears, your being. If the life that you currently are in is not where you desire to be, and you believe that you are here for more, this video is to offer you permission to pause, permission to slow down, permission to reflect, and permission to believe that anything and everything is possible. Anything and everything is possible. It may seem challenging right now. And in your reality, what you're seeing right in front of you, you may be like, okay, you have no idea what's happening in my world right now. what I can offer you is to breathe. Notice your thoughts, notice your triggers, and take it one step at a time. Incorporate gratitude whenever and wherever you can. Today, I am so grateful for the passport office and all the staff members that I came across. I'm grateful for my driver. I'm grateful for the food I have been blessed with today. I'm grateful for warm weather, even though it's a colder season. Today was a fairly warmer temperature. And when I was talking to one of my mentors, one of my guides, he reminded me to stay in an attitude of gratitude. As corny as that may sound, stay in the attitude of gratitude, so you can continue to receive what the universe has to offer. Keep the door open. And the door stays open by being grateful. Even in the midst of what may seem like there's nothing to be grateful for, there always is, there always is, there always is. So I offer you the permission to pause, the permission to slow down, to be grateful, to find anything that brings you joy. Anything that brings you joy. To talk to someone that you feel actually hears you, actually is present with you. To go out in nature, to be in the sun, to move your body, to dance. Dance is one of the fastest, most effective ways of releasing trauma from the body, from getting unstuck, from releasing so many good feeling hormones within the body. Be mindful of your thoughts, be mindful of your words, and continue envisioning, imagining, speaking, believing, seeing within yourself the experience that you want to have, that you desire to have. And watch how your external world changes. I hope this video served you well. I'm grateful that you're here. And until next time, peace.